Coming up on the Grandpa Joe Show for this Saturday, December 30th, 2017, I am Dominic Brush.
And I'm Joe Wilinski.
Coming up on the Grandpa Joe Show, we'll be talking about a new piece of equipment that we got that we've been teasing about on the Grandpa Joe Show for the past couple of episodes, and has finally arrived. Also coming up on the Grandpa Joe Show.
Well, I'll be discussing a little bit about the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. That's going to be this Sunday's Mass is about that, so I had some thoughts about that. And we will also discuss viewership, where we're going with our viewers, and we are going to make some adaptations to our video camera system. So those are the things that we're going to be doing.
And so that is the Grandpa Joe Show for December 30th, 2017, as the Grandpa Joe Show starts right now. Welcome back. So this is the Grandpa Joe Show. So we are going to hop right into our adaptation for our video system. So first of all, what I like to bring up with us is a piece of equipment that we bought off of Newegg on the 19th. So what we did is that we needed some sort of live shot thing, and so we finally got around to doing it on the 19th. And so we were trying to look for the cheapest thing possible, but we were trying to look for other stuff of the sort. So we ended up falling on this, and it's been working very well so far. We actually did test last night and this morning. The indoor tests with including this bedroom here, which by the way is going to be which is our new studio. We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
So basically this indoor test has run pretty darn well. It does have some pretty strong anti-interference, except when it gets close, when you put your hand close to the transmitter, especially on a Wi-Fi congested band.
And in case you're wondering what this is even doing, we only have an old Hi8 video camera
over there. It's a Sony Handycam TRV-68.
Right, and the problem with it is we had no way of directly putting the information into the computer. So now Dominic researched this a little bit. I'm pretty proud of him for what he came up with. It's a pretty smart idea. He found some a transmitter and a receiver, and the transmitter and receiver, they both are identical on both sides, and what it actually does is it will convert the video stream into a digital signal.
Well, it is more like analog.
It is still analog?
This is basically, for you people who don't know about this stuff, is that when we were doing infield tests, with static, people who were alive back in the 2000s and were teenagers and whatnot, and you get static in the signal and whatnot sometimes, especially during storms. That was an analog signal, but nowadays that the signal pixelates, and so the pixelates in digital artifacts and whatnot, obviously that's a digital signal. But most things like this, most cheap things, mind you, are analog transmitters. And this particular one transmits on the 2.4 gigahertz band. This is a Packite branded receiver and transmitter. So that's what it is for what was going on for us.
Right. So at any rate, we have one issue with it is if we have the camera outdoors, which that's what we want to do, we can
For
go
live
up to
shots.
we can go up to 150 meters away from wherever the receiver
It's
is.
advertised 150 meters. So
Well, we're gonna
so-
gonna go by what they advertise because we're gonna be finding that out once we get to this point. And
Yeah.
but there's one issue. We got to plug the transmitter into power. So what I'm gonna do now, because it runs on a AC/DC adapter, so you plug an adapter into the wall outlet, 120 volt wall outlet, and it reduces it down to 5 volts.
So it must have some sort of
Right.
voltage regulator to help this out.
Well, it's-
within the power outlet, the power adapter itself.
Right, the adapter that's just the transformer that transforms it into DC, and so at any rate, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just run on batteries out in the field. So since it's DC 5 volts, I have this battery for my little power drill that I have for work, and I'm going to just adapt it to that.
So, by the way, the drill battery power is 7.2 volts as we've measured, and the power adapter, the power adapter cable, dumps it down to 5.2 volts. So it takes away 2 volts for.
No, the cable doesn't take away 2 volts.
Like the
inside
the regulator takes.
There's going to be a regulator inside of this transmitter that will regulate the voltage once it gets inside there. Generally speaking, most of your equipment it'll regulate down their voltage a little bit. You don't want to put something that's 25 volts onto something that's 5 volts, but if it's only 7 volts, we should be good. We're hoping we're good.
Yeah, we're hoping we're good.
So here we go. I hate even doing this, but I'm gonna have to clip this brand new cord in order to make our adapter for the battery. So I'll clip it a little bit so I can always resplice it.
There we go.
Chop. We clipped it. There goes however much money, but we can always splice it so that it isn't a total loss.
Yeah, it's not an absolute total loss.
Okay.
We're doing this for not waterproofing. Jeez. This went flying across. it just went like flying.
That's
across
why.
the table.
That's
Like,
why they always tell you to wear safety glasses when you're working.
And they weren't kidding, because that thing almost hit my face.
Okay, so we got this. I think I kind of went over this once before. With our other thing, there's a dotted line on here. Usually the one wire on that's the dotted line is usually your hot, so that's your positive DC, and the one that's not marked is usually the negative. So I got my battery lead here. I'm going to connect it up. The black will go to the one that's not marked.
Yeah.
And the red will go to the one that is marked. And just in case...
we'll be careful and not touch this.
Just in case I am wrong, I'm going to double check it.
Here, I'm just going to manually control the webcam here. Zoom it in.
Okay. I guess I can probably do it like this. Except for now the lead just popped off of the...
Great.
No wonder this thing's magnetic. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's just like...
Okay, wow, pretty good job there, Dominic. Okay.
Yep.
Now we got our leads. We'll just double check. So the outside of this is the negative, and the inside should be the positive. And if it is, then we're good to go. And we're good to go.
It looks like 7.9 volts.
7.9 volts. It is a
DC.
7.2 volt DC battery, but a lot of times they'll be over. If you ever measure your car battery, they say they're 12 volts, and usually you measure it, and it's usually like about almost 12 and a half to 13 volts.
Yeah.
So they're always a little bit more voltage until you get under load. Then it'll drop down.
Yeah, because that's just the thing a battery does.
So now we're gonna plug it in. This is what they call in the electronics field. This is what we call the smoke test.
Smoke test?
Smoke test on a brand new thing. We're gonna run a smoke test. But
I do watch a couple of retro computer enthusiasts, and they do say smoke test. So
that's what it is. It's
smoke test is complete, and
Okay.
it's successful.
So far, it's successful.
But now what? What do we do now?
Now what do we do? Well, what we got to do is let's see if our video cam does indeed work. You're just going to have to take our word for this, because right now we said that we got the transmitter and the receiver, but there was one thing that was lacking. We did not get the cable to connect it to the computer, because it's a special what do they call it? Audio video cable to USB connector?
Yeah, it's an RCA to USB.
RCA to USB.
So, and unfortunately, what happened was that whoever is doing this, I'm not going to dock you for this. I'm just saying, apparently the things got shipped to New York instead of Chicago with our EV sender and receiver. So I don't know what happened with that, and it said estimated delivery is by next Friday.
I think didn't they say originally that it might take as long as 2 weeks?
It said it's being shipped overseas, and it says it can take up to 10 business days.
10 business days. Well, we happen to have a lot of Christmas and New Year's in between here now.
So
we didn't get New Year's yet, but we're getting close. So anyway, I'm going to... Now, I noticed that these switches are set different again, Dominic. You love switching switches. Is it number 4,
especially,
right?
Yeah, and switch
Okay,
down, and that
now-
is on channel 8 now.
Okay, is the one in the kitchen on channel 8?
That is incorrect. Negative. I
Negative.
think.
So
Uh,
we're gonna just double check. So now we are gonna see if our battery operation works, which I cannot see why it wouldn't, but you never know. So he's gonna switch that thing on. I'm gonna turn this on, and you're gonna have to take our word for it that it does work. It does. Well, we got all kinds of wires laying around here. Yeah, but I think that with the battery operation, it should be less interference when we're out in the field than running on an AC cord. Oh, you wanna show the... Oh, okay. We're gonna actually show you. Dominic's gonna run the GoPro. Okay. In the meantime, I guess what could we do here? I could talk a little bit about what I was going to talk about, but maybe that might kind of get too confusing back and forth. So, well, maybe we could go to a slight commercial break. But Dominic is the controller of the commercial breaks. Should we go to a commercial break?
Yeah, we could certainly go to a commercial break. So we will be right back. And I can't literally, like, if I look at this upside down, it's weird.
Where you gotta go?
So what?
You can show me how to do commercial break.
There.
Are we on break now?
Oh. Welcome back to the Grandpa Joe Show. And so we have done our test of the AV sender and receiver, and so I will be queuing that up right now.
So I can talk now?
Okay.
Alright. Anyway, we hooked up the battery and the system does work. What do you want me to say?
So, and then the GoPro's equipment, well, its Wi-Fi is currently interfering with the feed. So, and it does work when the GoPro is not on. The static that you're seeing right now is not really there when the GoPro's Wi-Fi is not on. So, yeah, that's basically what is going on right now with the GoPro's Wi-Fi and the receiver interfering with each other.
So I can talk now? Alright. Anyway, we hooked up the battery and the system does work. What do you want me to say?
So that was basically what it was. I'm not sure if it was looping right there, but it was. But anyway, that was our test. And on our without the GoPro's Wi-Fi on, it is very, very clear. Like there's little to no static on it, and rarely does it I think sometimes it gets like the weird static stuff on the screen. Not as much as what you saw in the recording, just a tiny bit of it.
Yeah, well, that was kind of crazy that Wi-Fi from the GoPro did that to it. But what are you gonna do? So, well, at any rate, some of the other topics that we were going to talk about was viewership. We've had quite a few views now, and throughout the whole United States, we've had Missouri, Oklahoma, of course, plenty from Wisconsin. We've had Illinois, quite a few visits from there, and California. Where else in the United States do we get?
We got okay.
I think I already said most of them.
Well, let's go right to it before you spoil anything else.
I'm always spoiling stuff, aren't I, Dominic?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for this to load. Let's see. Yeah, it's doing that. Turn it off. So, so let's go right to where our viewers are from. So let's start out with the world. Let's wait for it, cause we'll have to figure out a way to see what we can do to help ease some of the stress I'm putting on this laptop. So we have one view directly from India. I'm not sure if that's showing up on there. We have one view from India. We have one view from Lebanon, if I can hover over it. And then we got the rest of the views are coming from the United States. So the rest of the 121 views. And if we go into that, now, this is not our Wi-Fi acting slow, it's just we're recording right now, and that's kind of maxing out the CPU for some reason. So, when this loads, you can see we got 101 views from Wisconsin. Illinois comes second with 13 views. We got 2 views from California. Let's see here, 1 view from Oklahoma, 1 view from Missouri, and another view from Massachusetts. So, because I think there's no, I don't think there's more. Because if we switch to geography, just kind of wait for this, so you can see that Oregon, it says there's 0 views. So I'm wondering if it's just a random passerby that just got filtered out. So.
And an unknown region in the U.S.
So I don't know what that was. We have no information at the U.S. state level for that. So
Okay.
That's what it says.
But what I found was kind of interesting is we actually had a viewer from Lebanon.
Yeah,
In India, well, there's a lot of Indians are always doing weird stuff over there, but Lebanon, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. And did you want to try to? Can we show them on this map that we have on the wall?
Yeah, so obviously you can see right behind us is a map of the world. So basically you might get a vague idea of what we're doing. So if we get out of shot here, you can see we got the map of the entire world here. Now what we plan to do with this is that we're gonna do some like thumbtack or something and stick it where we had viewers from, and I feel like we should probably go down to the nearest state, if any is available.
Right.
So, basically, we would be sticking one from way up here in Wisconsin, right up there, Illinois, California. I don't think we would be counting Oregon, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Massachusetts for the United States. Then we're gonna get Lebanon over here.
Lebanon, it's such a little, tiny country right above Israel.
And then we'll be pinning India. So basically, as we get more and more views from new locations, we will be increasing the number of thumbtacks we have. And so that is what's up for our map.
Yep. So then that was one thing we wanted to talk about, and the other thing I wanted to just discuss was, as you know, Grandpa Joe, I go to church and stuff, and this week here is the Mass of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, because we're still in the Christmas season. A lot of people don't realize that we are still in the Christmas season, but we are. And what does it take to be a holy family? Of course, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph are the holiest family of all, but what does it take to really be a holy family? And I was thinking about that, and I think that what would really make you a holy family, or what does make you a holy family, is the Ten Commandments. The two to really focus on would be thinking about the first commandment: love your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength, all your might. And then Jesus added another commandment, and love your neighbor as yourself. Well, that's to love your God, to love your Father, the Father in heaven. That is, I think, the most important. But then, of course, the next most important thing, it's the fourth commandment is to honor your mother and father, and that is so important. Just like right now, I'm his grandfather, but like Dominic here is honoring his grandfather by wanting to be with him, share time with him. Mm-hmm. And of course, to honor your mom and dad, to want to be with them and to share your lives with them. That is what helps to keep you a holy family, to do that. Let's see, I wrote down a couple other thoughts on that. That is the very beginning of trying to be a holy family.
Maybe you could kind of like get a close-up shot.
No, you don't need that. Okay. What else? I should have written down more of my thoughts on it, but that is the basis for being a holy family, is to honor your mother and father and your Father in heaven. else. I had other thoughts on this, but now all of a sudden I lost them again.
It just escaped you.
Yep, they escaped me.
So,
Well, I'll get back to it in just a little bit once I remember them. So, what else are we going to talk about here, Dominic? There was another topic.
I remembered. Oh, it was
your snail.
Yeah, the snail. So, what? So, back about on Christmas. Yeah, it was about. Yeah, it would have been Monday, Christmas night. So about 5 days ago, we went to a party, and what happened to be is that we had a white elephant and a white elephant gift exchange. So basically, if you know how gift exchanges work and whatnot, basically everybody puts their gifts in the middle of like a pile or something, like a neat organized pile, if you will, and it will basically people will basically select the gift and they don't know what it is because it's wrapped in gift paper, so in wrapping paper. So basically, and you could steal too. So basically, once you open the gift, you can keep it or you can have someone steal it. But you cannot tell them. Basically, you cannot tell them to steal your present. I mean, people say it's for fun, just kind of like for the joking. But you can, but only someone else can steal it, and you can't have them steal it. So basically, what happened is that what it was is that somebody picked out a snail candle. Like they unwrapped the gift. It was a snail candle. It was like a snail candle holder. And it was a pretty big one too. What it was? If you can see that it can hold a candle. Now it seems like it wasn't like can't see it all that well, but there really is a snail in there.
The snail is but the candle is inside the snail.
Yeah. So, looks like my cursor just froze up a little bit. So, can't move my cursor. Oh, there it goes already. So, what it was is that what happened with the snail is that I saw it. It looked pretty. It looked pretty beautiful actually. So I decided to steal the gift. Now the reason why I participated in the gift exchange was because for my grandma, who we call her Harmony. So, and how we call her Harmony, that's another story for another day. So
we've already discussed that a little
bit. Yeah. So we already kind of discussed it a little bit, but so I decided to steal it. So, and the thing is that after I stole it, now we got a chance that someone else was gonna steal it. So I kind of like held on to it for the rest. Kind of like held my breath a little bit. So, yeah, that was kind of like the story. So and then what was it? It's kind of, let me collect my thoughts here for a sec.
Well, I know that the other part of the story was then Harmony said, I know that someplace in the Bible there's something about snails. And so I said, I don't remember anything in the Bible about snails, but we looked it up, and there was indeed, I think it was Psalm 58 or Psalm 158. And it wasn't that great. It was kind of like if the sun shines on a snail, it just shrivel up like a snail or something. It was not that great. But
and it probably was directed towards something else, but eh.
But so at any rate, but now we have the sun shining inside the snail. There's a candle inside the snail.
As you can see inside it. So
yeah. So but you can't really see the whole snail that well there.
But it was just during the night, so.
Yeah. And I did. Now I started remembering a little bit about what else I was going to talk about, Holy Families. So, but at any rate, Jesus said that. What did he say? Well, he founded a church. He founded the Catholic Church. Well, he founded the church, and that church, we are all brothers and sisters in Christ, and it's through that church that we are, and that is a holy family. Well, we're kind of dysfunctional sometimes, but through the church, that is a way to become holy too.
Yeah.
And that was another thought I had with families, the holy families. So I encourage all those out there that they should go to church. That's honoring your father. First commandment, number one commandment, honor your father. And also our church, it's, in a way, it's the mother's church. Our Mother Mary, she is kind of in a way, the church. She's the structure of the church. We just got through with Advent, and she bore our God, our Savior, Jesus Christ, and that's why Mary is kind of, in a way, the church also. So, but that's my thoughts on that, and we can't forget about Father Joseph, Carpenter, who kind of isn't too much in the Bible. They never had him speak or anything in the Bible. He's just always mentioned in the Bible, but he never really did say too much. But it's kind of interesting that way. Okay, those are my thoughts about that.
Yep.
As random as they came out.
Yeah. So basically, kind of like our next topic here on the show is that we are going to talk about a new setting here at the Grandpa Joe show, as you all obviously saw throughout the show today. So basically, what is going on is that we moved into a new studio. So basically, for the past 3 episodes that we've been filming in the kitchen, that was basically a temporary studio while this one was being set up and ideas were being cumulative about it. So if I go ahead and take the webcam off of its tripod mount, I'm going to switch to this so you can see. I mean, right now it's like a mess right now, especially with the wires all over there, but it's going to get cleaned up and filled up with other stuff.
Well, you don't want to really show the rest of the room because that's a mess too, because we just pushed everything over there to get all this
Yeah. So yeah, so obviously we'll find something like kind of like to clean up this area. But right now, as you can see, that this is kind of like basically our mini studio. I'm kind of like selfieing this with a webcam. This is actually quite unique. So as you can see, this is our studio. It's kind of like the table, and then we got a little power brick down here.
Yeah, we don't need to steal that.
So we got kind of like our stuff over here, and then we got the laptop over here. It kind of looks mesmerizing, actually.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like a mirror, isn't it?
Yeah.
An endless mirror.
Yeah, so that's basically that's what is going on here. And obviously our setup is not like exactly state of the art, but we'll figure something out for it in the meantime. But that's just what we're going to use now for the meantime. So I'm going to put the tripod back on its mount and clamp it. If I can do that.
Yeah.
So we'll switch back to the main shot for that while I
see. Now this main shot looks a lot better than all that other mess.
Yeah, basically. So it's kind of like pin it between here. so that works, sort of. So yeah, that's basically what our new studio kind of like looks like. If there's gonna be any more topics, we'll be right back while we kind of like take a little commercial break to kind of like see what other topics we were gonna talk about. So we'll be right back, and if there's not, we'll jump straight to the conclusion. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back into the Grandpa Joe Show. We have no other topics to discuss, so we're going to close out with our final thoughts. So this is what we're going to do for our final thoughts. Just as always, we are going to kind of like discuss whatever the heck that we want to discuss.
That is it.
In terms of thoughts.
Okay. Well, I had some closing thoughts. The one thing when we were talking about the Holy Family, and I think the number one thing that we got to think about is our Father in heaven. Just like our family here on earth, no matter how much you screw up, He wants you to be with Him, and so same thing here on earth. No matter how much you screw up, your family always wants you to be with them too. You're always in their hearts. So that's kind of what it takes to be holy. Always want to be with the Father. And that picture of the snail, I started thinking about that too. Here's the snail in the daylight, not just a candle lit inside of it. Well, anyway, I kept thinking about that snail, and then that Psalm. It is Psalm number 58 that talks about the snail. I'll read that to you real quick. I'll just read the parts that kind of pertain to it. Make them vanish like flowing away, like water flowing away, trodden down. Let them wither like grass. Let them dissolve like a snail that oozes away. Okay. That's Psalm 58, verses 8 and 9. I keep on going on. It's all pretty dismal stuff, but it's kind of interesting, that part about the snail. I guess what they thought, the ancient people thought, that as a snail crawled along, that little trail that they leave, they thought that snail was actually just withering away as it went along. So by the time if it got a whole mile, it'd probably be nothing. Well, and also we know that the sun would wither that away too. But if you look at an analogy with that snail with the candle inside of it, you can think of how the sun, when you don't have the light of God within you, it just has a way, it's too bright for you to handle. So it can, in a sense, wither you away, because if you just have sin in you, then you're going to be withering away. But once you have that light of Christ inside of you, just like that snail did, there you go. The snail turns into what Dominic said, quite beautiful. And that was my thought on that.
So basically, kind of like after giving it some more thought.
Yep. And then also the next show, we're going to demo the camera system live. We had some more difficulties with it, and we're actually gonna upgrade it, because some of that static, we were kind of getting annoyed by it, and well, Dominic could tell you another story if he wants.
Well, what happened was that I was playing around with it one night. I was doing something. I was basically, if you're an electronics enthusiast, you always know that reverse polarity always spells death for electronics, unless it has protection against it. So that's what exactly happened with me, is that I actually wired it backwards on the drill battery. And what happened is that before I had a chance to realize which way it was, I accidentally let go of the red clip, and it ended up plugging in, and then I smelled the magic smoke that comes out of electronics whenever they're reverse polarized.
You kind of had a delayed smoke test.
Yeah, the smoke test first succeeded, and then when I did it again, it failed.
So,
except that was human error that caused it.
But we think that, at least I kind of think that to upgrade it just a little bit is going to be better for us anyway.
Yeah, 5.8 gigahertz could also yield a better picture too.
And then one other thing, I don't know if you recall, I think it was on the last show where I mentioned something about maybe Christmas. I might get I was hitting at a battery-operated drill for my ice auger. Well, I got the okay. I can go and get one. So by the next show, we'll have that, along with our upgraded transmitters, and I think we're going to be going live streaming from the great outdoors.
Yeah, so basically kind of like saying that hopefully at some point, once it's going to probably be a couple years down the line, but maybe we could go live stream from anywhere in the world. Basically kind of like saying, do like satellite internet type deal. Doing a satellite internet dealio.
Okay.
So basically our next Grandpa Joe show will be on it will be on January 13th.
January 13th, huh? Okay.
Yep. So that is what it is for the next live stream, and basically we'll be doing our first live shot from the field. But for now, this is the Grandpa Joe show for December 30th, 2017, and now being shot with this outro being shot on New Year's Day 2018. And I hope you guys had a good New Year, and because we certainly did. But for now, this is Dominic Brosh and Joe Walensky signing off, and God bless.
Yeah, well, Happy New Year.
Yeah,
and God bless.
Happy New Year and God bless.
And God bless this whole new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for now, this is Dominic Brosh and Joe Walensky signing off. Happy New Year and God bless.